Donald Trump just got a rude awakening on Wednesday morning as California Governor Gavin Newsom says he's bringing in the National Guard. Yep, California Governor Gavin Newsom is sending in the National Guard as a result of Donald Trump's disastrous government shutdown. Newsom will deploy the California National Guard and California volunteers on a humanitarian mission, essentially, against Trump to support food banks as the federal government shutdown delays food benefits for millions of California families. So think about the contrast. Donald Trump sending the National Guard into cities to destroy people's lives and attack people living in the United States. Governor Newsom sending the National Guard in to deliver food and to help people. This morning, we also learned that Melania Trump's crypto architect of that Melania coin that absolutely crashed, surprise, surprise, accused of fraud. More fraud surrounds the Trumps. Yep, the architects of the First Lady meme coin Melania, they were accused in a recent court filing of organizing the launch of that coin, knowing it would plummet and trying to basically do a pump and dump of it. Investors were the ones who filed that lawsuit. Another fraud lawsuit swirls around the Trump family. Meanwhile, as Donald Trump destroys the East Wing of the White House, literally demolishes it with bulldozers, many people are calling the awful, gaudy, disgusting golden ballroom that he wants to build on the White House grounds. They're calling it the Epstein Ballroom, and you should call it the Epstein Ballroom as well. As the government is shut down, Donald Trump's also trying to funnel $230 million from the federal government, from the Department of Justice, into his own pockets. He claims, oh, I'm going to give it to charity. Sure you are, Donald. We know how your charities work, or I should say don't work, because a lot of them aren't allowed to operate anymore because of, that F word, fraud. But yes, Donald Trump wants to have the federal government that he controls issue a settlement with himself because Trump says the 2020 election was rigged, and says that as a result of all of the investigations into him, that he experienced all of this pain and suffering. So he wants $230 million in a settlement from his own DOJ. How pathetic. Yep, as the Epstein Ballroom goes up, Americans are living paycheck to paycheck and are psychologically tortured by the policies of the Trump regime. They can't afford rent. If they're lucky enough to have a home, they can't afford their mortgage. People are having their health care ripped away. 20 million Americans losing their health care as a result of the Trump regime, and Donald Trump literally bulldozing the East Wing of the White House. Page 1 in Miami. Trump is taking a wrecking ball to the approval process in D.C. in an echo of the strategies that he deployed in Palm Beach and New York. It's why I always talk about Donald Trump's despicable, dark past as a felon, as a criminal, as a sexual abuser, as a bankrupter, because he's using those same things yet again, now destroying the United States of America. So when Trump would go and do projects in Miami or Florida or elsewhere, he wouldn't abide by the approval process. He would just destroy things, then sue everybody and try to bully everybody into submission. And when people would stand up to him, he'd go bankrupt. But lots of times people just don't stand up to the fact that he's an utter maniac. You have to stand up and assert yourself to maniacs like that, because he's actually a weak and pathetic human being, and he surrounds himself with weaker, more pathetic human beings, but you gotta stand up. And it's not easy because the guy's a freaking maniac, a relentless maniac, but you gotta stand up. You can't capitulate. You can't show weakness. You have to lead with strength. It's the only way to do that. He sues you, you sue him back. You set his deposition, you put him right across, and you show him real freaking strength, frankly, the way Governor Newsom is doing. There was a disastrous press conference earlier this morning with MAGA Mike Johnson. He didn't know about anything, apparently. He didn't know that Trump was asking the American taxpayers to pay for his pain and suffering in legal cases. He didn't know that Donald Trump wants to now open the American up to Argentine beef, which lots of it has foot and mouth disease. and would be very harmful to our ranchers here in the United States. Still doesn't know about the guy who threatened to kill Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, who was pardoned by Donald Trump. He was involved in the January 6th insurrection, and now he threatened to kill Hakeem Jeffries. Like so many of these despicable terroristic insurrectionists that Donald Trump pardoned, they get out and they commit more criminal offenses. But MAGA Mike doesn't know anything about that. MAGA Mike just wanted to brag this morning about everything that's been accomplished with healthcare. He goes, the MAGA Republicans have been the ones that save healthcare. He goes, remember the bill that we did, the big, beautiful bill? We gave you Medicaid. We gave you healthcare. MAGA Mike, no one believes this. We know the disastrous budget bill cuts trillions from healthcare. We know it shuts down rural hospitals. And then MAGA Mike will be like, but we gave the rural hospitals $50 billion after you took away $200 billion, okay? If you steal $1,000 from me and return $200, you've still stolen $800 from me, MAGA Mike. People aren't stupid. I know you're used to the MAGA mush brain followers, who every time Donald Trump sends an email, I'm giving you my VIP club access. You've now joined my cabinet. They're like, okay, Donald, I'm in your cabinet. But most Americans ain't like that, MAGA Mike, and we're freaking pissed, man. Here's what MAGA Mike said earlier this morning. Play this clip.
We put a few on the handy chart over here. But just think of what's been accomplished in the last 9.5 months. A couple of things listed here. We passed the historic Working Families Tax Cut, one of the most landmark pieces of legislation ever passed by the U.S. Congress for the benefit of the American people. We slashed taxes for hardworking Americans, geared for the lower and middle class earners who needed that assistance. We cut hundreds of billions of dollars in fraud, waste, and abuse from government. We solved the border crisis. We are working now to solve the crime crisis in major cities around America. We strengthened Medicaid. We improved healthcare access, and we lowered premiums with our legislation.
How much time, money, and energy have you spent on health, wellness, and beauty products to look and feel younger and healthier? If you're like me, probably too much. Now, I'm so excited to share with you guys C15 from Fatty 15, the first emerging essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years. Now, it's an incredible scientific breakthrough to support our long-term health and wellness, and you guessed it, healthy aging. Fatty 15 co-founder Dr. Stephanie Van Watson, she discovered the benefits of C15 while working with the U.S. Navy to continually improve the health and welfare of aging dolphins. Now, based on over 100 studies, we now know that C15 strengthens our cells and is a key to healthy aging nutrient, which helps to slow biological aging at the cellular level. Now, in fact, when our cells don't have enough C15, they become fragile and age faster. And when our cells age, our bodies age too. So Fatty 15 is a science-backed, award-winning, patented 100% pure C15 supplement. It's vegan-friendly, free of flavors, allergens, or preservatives. Fatty 15 has 3 times more cellular benefits than omega-3s or fish oil. I love Fatty 15. I've personally seen the benefits. Definitely check this stuff out. Best of all, Fatty 15 comes in a gorgeous reusable glass bamboo jar, and refills are shipped right to your door. Now, Fatty 15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help support your long-term health and wellness, now especially as you age. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/Meidas and using code Meidas at checkout.
And then they kind of sidelined MAGA Mike because he was like, MAGA Mike is not having a good run right now with this government shutdown that he and Donald Trump are causing, as the American people are getting just even utterly pissed that Trump and MAGA Mike and John Thune refuse to even talk to the Democrats, to have any conversation, to converse with the Democrats at all. So they bring in Lisa McClain, MAGA Republican Congresswoman, and she's like, we are the party that's actually meeting with Americans. While Democrats are out there marching in radical mobs, we're meeting. No, you're not. You are the people who are running away from your own town halls. You're refusing to do town halls because you're scared about your own constituents. Here, play this clip.
Right? While Democrats were marching with their radical mobs, Republicans were actually meeting with Americans, listening, helping, and working. Let me give you a few examples. Congressman Ciscomani visited a food bank helping families with food insecurity. Congressman Rick Allen stood with veterans left in limbo by the Democrats' political games. And Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis thanked U.S. Park police officers while they worked without pay. That's the contrast. Because as
Republican Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina says, I really don't like the optics of Donald Trump reaching settlements with himself from the DOJ and paying himself $230 million. It's terrible optics. It is, but it's also a terrible thing. Not everything for the, is optics. Like, I get optics, but it's a thing also. It's unlawful. Trump destroying the White House, it's unlawful. Yes, it's bad optics. It's unlawful. Ripping away healthcare from 20 million Americans. I know y'all think about that as just optics because y'all have golden healthcare plans, like the top of the line. But yes, it's more than just optics because people are dying. When RFK Jr. engages in these horrific dismantling of vaccine panels, yes, it's bad optics, but it also means that children are more susceptible to getting measles, mumps, rubella, and dying. So let's put this in context of what this is. I know with Trump and MAGA, optics, ooh, golden ball. No, this is about life and death. This is about peace and war, and we need normalcy and competent grown-ups, not this crap right here. As MAGA Mike says, I don't really know about that $230 million settlement. Here, play this clip.
Last question. Yes, ma'am. Second row, right? Yes.
How comfortable are you with the president apparently seeking $230 million from the Department of Justice?
I don't know the details about that. I've just read it. I didn't talk with him about that. I know that he believes he's owed that reimbursement. What I heard yesterday was if he receives it, he was going to consider giving it to charity. I mean, he doesn't need those proceeds, but we're for the rule of law. We're for what is just and right. And it's just absurd that, I mean, as has been noted here several times this morning, they attack him for everything he does. It doesn't matter what it is.
Also, you should all know that these posters are going up across DC right now. Big photos of Stephen Miller that say creep. They're being posted all throughout DC. It's accurate. Oh, there she is, Lindsay Halligan. Look at Lindsay Halligan, everybody. Wave hello to her. She's the former insurance lawyer, never been a federal prosecutor in her life. Somehow became, well, we know how she became Donald Trump's personal lawyer. He met her, former beauty pageant contestant and insurance lawyer. That was enough to make her Donald Trump's lawyer. Now she's the top federal prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia on a rocket docket as James Comey's lawyers are making circles around her. She's now opened Donald Trump up to discovery with his potential direct messages that he's sending on his Truth Social accounts. And so great work, Lindsay Halligan. Also, you didn't seem to be appointed legally, and so the whole case may fall apart because you were the only person in the grand jury room when you weren't actually appointed as a federal prosecutor. That's never happened in history before, but Lindsay Halligan, you'll create the Halligan precedent. Great work, Lindsay Halligan. We'll keep everybody posted on that. I'm going to do a video with Harry Littman there. And finally, I just want to keep reporting accurately what's happening as the ceasefire that's taken place or was supposed to take place, which I always said was a fraudulent ceasefire, not a peace deal that the media wanted to all claim between Israel and Hamas, which neither Israel or Hamas signed. It's falling apart. It's fallen apart. It's never existed in the first place. Pick which one you think it is. Israel has killed 97 Palestinians and wounded 230 others, committing 80 ceasefire violations since October 10th, according to the Gaza media office. The Guardian reports numbers that are slightly less than that, but still over 40 ceasefire violations or so and dozens of Palestinians dead. Israel not sending all the humanitarian aid through Rafah like it was supposed to. Hamas asserting control over Gaza, reasserting its control, saying it's not going to disarm. Netanyahu doesn't support a two-state solution. So the whole point of these discussions is, can you have a free Palestine and a free Israel living side by side? That's what's been difficult for people in the past to resolve, right? I mean, it shouldn't be difficult to resolve, but there's obviously a significant history there. But that wasn't addressed in the ceasefire. So if you don't address in the ceasefire free Palestine, what are you talking about in the ceasefire? What are you talking about in the deal? It isn't. It's a fake deal. The same way Donald Trump lies with fake deals with $20 trillion and fake deals about, I brought in $600 billion from the European Union. Fake, 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 fake. But that's the Trump regime. Go back to his past. A con artist and a bankrupter before he went into politics. A loser who bankrupted business after business after business, scammed people, enriched himself, destroyed lives. That's who he is. And that's why we expose that every day here on the MeidasTouch Network. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thank you, everybody.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.